Welcome back to Shar's Stories, Stories to Renew Your Mind. Today's story is about Mammon and medical records. And by Mammon, I'm talking about wealth that you would be covetous over, okay? Or something that you're striving for, and it's purely for the material gain. In the mid 60s, my family was living in Indianapolis. I graduated high school there. But during the summers, other than one summer when I went to a pre-collegiate program, I would return to Detroit for the summers, and I worked at my family's doctor's office, and I was staying there during the summers with my mom's parents. And at some point, I decided I was going to be a medical records librarian. And during these summers, I'm thinking the summers was when I was in college. It was during the summers, not during high school. But and I was attracted to the field because the average salary in the late '60s was a huge amount, $10,000 for the year. I mean, wow, have we come so far now? But the summer after my junior year in college, I worked at Hutzel Hospital in the medical records department. And Hutzel Hospital is a hospital in Detroit City. And my job was to read and to do a quality check on the medical records of the discharged or the deceased patients. As I worked there, I began to realize it was a hierarchical community where the doctors were at the top and the interns like me, I was on the bottom. And this made my job quite difficult because I had to hunt down the doctors and the nurses to get them to complete the missing information in the charts. And so my supervisor didn't help the situation. She had a sour disposition and she was quite critical, you know. So, and dealing with her was minor compared to the main source of my frustration was it was a oppressive atmosphere of being in this it was like a hermetically sealed environment of sickness, you know, and it had all these winding halls, and it was just like you come into another world once you come in that door. And sometimes at night, I would cry when I get to my grandmama's house. I really would. I dreaded the thought of going back. However, I needed the money for college in the fall, and they paid well. So I just grinned and I bared it. Okay. Now, my senior year, I changed my major to psychology and graduated with only having to go for an extra semester during the summer to make up the needed credits. Um, Now I realize if I had inquired of Jehovah, my path would have probably been quite different. I was chasing Mammon to get to my destiny, and I believed Elohim would have revealed my entrepreneurial skills at an earlier point in my life if I hadn't just been chasing the money and decided that that's where I wanted to go. However, I praise Jehovah that he even uses our mistakes to train us in the way that he has planned for us. And that reminds me of Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. We cannot serve Elohim and Mammon. Mammon. Thanks. Remember to like and share.